mean, I feel like there's that sort of feeling of postpartum depression anytime something is completed.
Yeah.
And we completed that and the Mondo Megabits drop at the same time, so it was kind of double impact. But that's what Frank Yang talked about was, women come from the factory with the ability to create life, which is like their life quest. They have it in them, ready to rip. They just have to insert cum, and it comes out. And men to achieve the same thing, you have to do all this crazy fucking bullshit.
It's come in your own mouth.
Well, that too.
You have to do self-suck on the wall.
You do self-suck, but then you have to make art, is what he said.
Really?
That's man's way of creating life, which is inferior, is creating art.
Huh. By any means necessary?
Yeah, and the word art meaning whatever you want it to mean.
Culinary art.
Not meaning fucking a painting. I mean, it just means whatever it is that your life quest is. That's what your creation is. So when you finish something, you get a feeling that you get the same feeling that women do after they give birth sometimes, which is postpartum depression. Do you remember how you felt after world peace was done?
Yeah.
I felt pretty drained.
Yeah, I wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I felt for the past. That's how I felt for a few days after. I mean, I'm older now, and I've gotten better at tamping down those sensations. So that only affected me for maybe 4 days, but now I got to start working out again. I'm gonna get fat.
Managing expectations and having and realizing that there's never any champagne popping moment in most of the things that you do creatively is a very fucking depressing reality.
That's a big one. And I remember back when we were in our 20s, I know that you wanted that champagne popping moment,
and it just never came.
And I could have used it as well, and it did never come.
Can
you believe that?
No.
Isn't that crazy?
There's never anything that was like, oh shit, this is it. I thought it was. I popped the champagne myself 5 times in my own head.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, when we met Will Sasso, I was like, oh well, obviously we're gonna be movie stars now.
Yeah, man.
I just met Will Sasso and shot a video with him, so clearly I'm gonna be fucking famous tomorrow.
Yeah.
When the New York Times calls, what am I gonna say?
But that's crazy though. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's never a moment where you get to kind of enjoy, honestly, in anything.
Yeah.
Other than children, for me, because it was great. Children is very champagne popping.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like all the things, even like finishing houses and selling houses and like getting the money.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, you sell a house. Like I sold a house before, I made a bunch of money on one.
Yeah.
And like, oh, it's cool. I made like $130,000 on this fucking thing and just sat there. You don't get the check the day you sign the paper.
Yeah.
It comes like 3 days later.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, should I have sold it?
Yeah.
Like I don't feel any different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or like when the show was done, we're like, oh, wow, we did the show. Holy shit. That was like, wow, what a shit we just took. What a voyage. It took so fucking long. 3 years of work, living away from your family and, living with dudes for fucking 4 months at a time and just everybody just being haywire and in their own head.
Pain.
Yeah, full pain. Here's $90,000. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Go home now.
Yeah.
Hungover, dried out, sucked clean. Every good funny thing you had in your head you dumped. Like you left it all out on the field. And you're like,
and this isn't even talking about the cancellation. This is just finishing the product.
yeah, this is like the good part.
Yeah.
This is the
And I don't think we need to even talk about the cancellation, because it's what we're talking about is the lack of like the in life, your expectations and the climax that you anticipate not being there.
If you really think that certain things are going to be like that, it's going to be a big down. I'm precautionary to dudes that don't know a thing. Like it's things that you think are going to be the shit. Like, oh, this is going to be so fat. And you're like, dude, it's not.
Yeah.
Or it's not. That's not. It's not. It could be, but like, don't.
But that reaction, it's going to be so fat, is going to be spread out over 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's going to come with a lot of various price tags that you didn't anticipate.
Yeah. In micro doses that you didn't think, and then that you should discount.
When you're trying to sleep.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, when you're trying
to fucking pick out what kind of sandwich you want that day. That's when you have to do this thing that's going to be mildly irritating.
Yeah.
And make the whole experience not worth it.
Like, oh, in the end of the day, that was a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. And there was zero upside or enjoyment. Or the parts the juice wasn't.
I went through a lot of gas money. Like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know when, like, the people who complain about that type of thing,
Yeah.
but it's like, at the end of the day, after you do all this, that's what you're left with sometimes is like, man, I lost 2 of my favorite t-shirts. Like that type of
That
shit.
sucked. Yeah, I can't even find him anywhere.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to think I could have called the Airbnb that I stayed at.
Yeah. But you know what? So there's an upside to this, and I don't know if you do this, but this is what I would say to people is make sure that you you have to learn to enjoy the work and the process and the like
Yeah.
be aware of the fact that the golden era of your life is like the one that you're in right now. Like you're going to be looking back on your current experience. Like you're outside of 7-Eleven, you're like, it's 2 a.m. You're miserable. You're all messed up. You're listening to this podcast on like one AirPod, like one busted headphone. Like you're the 7-Eleven hot dogs you're eating right now. That's like the icon of the golden era of your life that you're going to be looking back on. And it's a good thing. I'm not saying this is like a depressing thing. I'm saying you have to learn to enjoy the struggle, because that's all that there really is. Like
You got to smell the roses.
I'm 37 and I don't have like I don't have a fireplace. I don't have a dope car. Like I don't have like a lawn where I can like kick my feet up or whatever. And even if I did, like you have a lawn, you have a fireplace. You're not there right now kicking your feet up.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm worried that I can't cut the grass. Soon enough.
So it's like you have to, the enjoyment that you get, you have to take it from.
You got to take it from something.
You got to take it from the moments that you get.
I was cutting my grass the other day.
You can't just wait for it. You have to take it.
Or find like something that you, especially honestly, because guys are going to try so much shit. Mm-hmm. Guys just try a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. I'm a woodworker. I'm a fucking bourbon aficionado. Mm-hmm. I'm a cigar guy. I'm a fucking remote control car. Like guys are just fucking master hobbyists. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to get into like the home and the dwelling. Mm-hmm. I'm a home repairman. Mm-hmm. You're going to find something that you're good at. Mm-hmm. One thing, maybe you hang pictures good. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're good with like hardware. Mm-hmm. Some people are like, you might be good with hardware. You might be good at home automation. Mm-hmm. Like literally, like really good at it. Mm-hmm. Like I'm really good at cutting the grass. I was cutting the grass the other day and I said to myself, I don't know if it gets any better than this. I swear to God.
It doesn't.
It was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy.
I had like a large iced coffee that I made in my like Takea brew. I had a fucking joint I was smoking a joint. It was like 10:30. I had, for some reason I had my watch on. And I was like just having this Goomba moment. I was like, look at this. It's a fucking nice day.
Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful out. I'm cutting crisp lines in my beautiful green grass that didn't fuck me over in the end of the year. It was crisp yellow. Came back, it's green again. I'm coming every day. I put a ton of fertilizer down, and I'm just a boomer idiot, and I get it. But I had to go to the gym in 3 hours.
Yeah. You have to squeeze that shit out of your life, because you're not gonna get another life. You're probably not gonna get a better life. You're probably gonna you're not gonna be a millionaire. You're probably
I'm not a millionaire.
Like,
it happens, you know.
Yeah, you are. But you have to like relentlessly
Don't tell me fucking my father's money.
Squeeze this shit out of your life. Like you have to find the enjoyment, and whether it's like even if it wasn't that, even if it was a shitty day, like you got to find the thing that
maybe it taught you won't do it again in a shitty day.
But maybe you have to find the enjoyment cutting your grass on a shitty day. Like you have to.
Oh yeah, I have to do it 30 times a year. You know what I mean? It's like it has to be done. I have people come over. It's just, but I enjoy it. After that, I've been hanging out with people and spending time, like all those meetings and shit, like the normal. Like, I want to have you over for. I made buffalo tenders from scratch because I'm like fucking fat. Like you should come over to my house for some scratch healthy honey buffalo tenders or some fucking shit. I mean, I don't remember what it was. It was delicious.
That sounds good.
I don't know.
But like this whole summer, it was really hot.
Yeah. And
I was driving the Ram around, which doesn't have AC and it has cloth seats. And I was going to the boxing gym followed by the sauna. So I was like soaking the seat in this truck. Like there's been so much of my liquid that's gone through the seat of that truck.
That's your truck now.
And it's like the summer was like going up to the fight. It was like completely gruelingly miserable. Like I'd come in here, I'd squeeze shirts out. You saw me, Joe. You saw me do this, where I'd come in with like it looked like I was in the shower, and I'd squeeze my shirt out on the floor in here, and say stuff like, "Yes, believe it or not, Dominican women come too." Like that sort of thing is what I was saying. But the boxing training is so miserable. It's like the worst. It's like the worst thing ever.
Getting bopped?
Yeah, but I was finding enjoyment in all that stuff. Like I was able to take these miserable days and find
anything specific that you remember that you were doing that was
way
new?
to enjoy it. It was just like what would be enjoyable? Just the feeling of heat, like being wet and giving it. Like I hate being wet. But like giving into it, like there's no way I'm not going to be not wet right now. Like I have to just ignore this and I'm wet.
Like walking in the rain.
It's what it is. I'm fucking soaked wet, and all my shit stinks.
What am I going to do about it?
And then from there, like enjoying the heat, being like, you know what, this is hot as fuck. I kind of like this.
It's like Haiti.
Yeah,
it's nice up here.
It's nice down here in Haiti.
It's like Haiti.
That type of thing.
Where's Laura Silsby? I got a shipping container to fill up.
Mm-hmm. Or just enjoying like muscle soreness or the process, the work, enjoying the work. Muscle
soreness is craveable.
Yeah,
it's really good.
But that's my point, and I think your point too is that you can't the moment like thinking about how in 10 years you're going to be aight. That's not what you're not going to be aight in 10 years.
No, it never happens.
It never happens. It gets different, but you're not going to be different.
That like you just get older and no one really figured this out thing that was like a big like echo chamber shit from like 2007 movies, like Judd Apatow movies. Like, so, dude, everybody just grows up and no one tells you how to do it.
Yeah,
that old like Reddit thread.
So you got to start enjoying your life now, even when it's miserable. You have to learn where to pull the enjoyment from.
Hanging out with people is a lot better though, man.
Yeah,
I've been like I had to find like I blew off people that I didn't mean to blow them. I was just working. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm not working, I was like, I gotta have beers with these people, and you just go have the beers with like the people you wanted to have beers with. You know who they are in your own life. Like I had to fucking meet up with this motherfucker, and I've been cracking the fuck up. It's like awesome. I'm like I don't know if we're like sharp because we're on podcasts conversationally, but the shit that comes out of people's mouths is so fucking funny, man. Mm-hmm. Like damn, that's so fucking crazy. I love it. Like I'm really recharged by people lately. And it's awesome. It's like I don't know. Not everybody's gonna have like the wildest shit, you know.
It doesn't have to be wild. It's just something slightly absurd.
Yeah, some anecdotal bullshit,
which is everywhere in Rhode Island.
Yeah,
like it's just you'll pick it up in a story about like gravel. Like there'll be something there that's like, that's fucking extremely surreal.
Yep,
and
like,
it's
literally,
and it's legit, and it's not that you're entertained the same way that someone who goes on like Reddit / mildly interesting is entertained. It's that there's aspects of stories like that if you're paying attention are more absurd than like any movie you've ever seen.
Yeah,
because it's real.